conservation. My name is Laura Slanek, Director of Education and Conservation. I have been here since 1987. I did start when I was about 5 years old. My background is I have a degree in recreation management. And the reason why I chose that degree was because the best way for me to learn is having fun and experiencing life, experiencing things. And so that's really the commitment that we have here at SeaWorld, is a way for you to immerse yourselves into a fun learning environment. It's important to understand that the foundation starts with the information. And we have 2 full-time science writers that work with our curatorial staff and use peer-reviewed journals in order to make sure that our information is updated and accurate. They're also the folks that help to generate the curriculum for our education programs. We have curriculum that is associated with the national science standards, and right now the national science standards is going into the next generation of science standards. We also align our curriculum with the California Science Framework, and we are right now working on aligning with the new core competencies that have just been adopted by California. And by 2016, we will have as a state the new science framework that's associated with the next generation science standards.
To see how many of you came with your families today. I already met a few of the kids. Julian, I was very impressed with. He's 5 years old and already had a notepad and was taking notes. Alexander wanted to come hang out with us until he found out there were shark necklaces to be built, and I kind of wanted to hang with Alexander. But I think that's important for you guys to know about me, is family is very important too. And as you can see, I do work in the mammal department. And what that means is we're in charge of the non-show animals, or the exhibit animals, the rescue program, the transportation of any animals within the United States or internationally, and overall the health care of all the animals within the park. But if you ask anyone in the mammal department where their heart and soul lies, it's usually with the rescue program. Because everything we learn from our animals that live here in the park helps us better take care of the animals we rescue. Everything we learn from the animals we rescue helps us better take care of our animals that live here in the park. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. But my career started about 19 years ago. I also was 5. And it started with a gray whale. And that was my first introduction to SeaWorld's commitment to conservation efforts and the rescue program. Gray whales were the first species ever taken off the endangered species list, but not a lot was known about them, and they had never been rescued, rehabilitated, and returned to the wild, and haven't since. But the one place that had that capability to do that was SeaWorld, and that was where I first saw this company and team's commitment. And I mean that by throughout the whole park. Everybody in this park is a member of the rescue team. That gray whale grew from 1,500 pounds to 18,000 pounds. And I don't know if you guys have ordered fish in a restaurant, that you know that price. Now times that by a whale, you need to feed that weighs 18,000 pounds. When it was a baby whale and was nursing milk, we had to warm it because its milk in the wild would be the mother's temperature. And there was a day where the electricity went down and we were having a hard time getting our gray whale formula warmed up. The electricians spent the majority of their day making sure that whale had warm milk to nurse from. I'm not going to say this happened, but I'm pretty sure the Sky Tower lights could have shut down and they were going to make sure that baby whale got its warm milk. The company also made sure that a lot of researchers got access to the whale, because the only way we can conserve these species in the wild is to learn about them. So there was researchers from all over the world that came in to learn about this gray whale, so they could take that information and continue to make conservation efforts for this species so it doesn't end up back on that endangered species list. I have not only seen that commitment from that point, but I've continued to see it grow. Julie Byford's going to get up today and talk about a conservation and ed program that's been developed by the company, but I want to let you know about something that happened just this year. On average, our program rescues 100 to 150 marine mammals a year. Last year, we rescued 439. Over 200 of those animals were rescued in March, so in 1 month's time, we exceeded our normal average for rescuing animals. They were primarily California sea lion pups. We needed help. And what I saw was the commitment from the team and people at director levels coming over and asking, what do you need? We need help. We need more people to take care of these animals.
Initially, I was doing white shark research for the park on a couple projects that they were working on. Then spent some time taking care of the fishes. Then moved over and, of course, couldn't just stay with the same thing. So spent close to 13 years working with our polar bears, beluga whales, walruses in the park. And now, about 2.5 years ago, I'm helping take care of what is really our largest animal collection in the park, which is close to 20,000 fishes, sharks, and sea turtles around the park. And as Jody mentioned, the rescue program, even the fish area has a branch of the rescue program because we handle all the sea turtles. And there's recently been an increase in sea turtle strandings along the West Coast. And as part of that stranding network that Jody was talking about, we handle all sea turtle rescues. And not only do we handle sea turtle rescues here in San Diego County, but we also handle all the long-term rehabilitation of sea turtles for the entire West Coast. And then, really for me, from the very beginning is, and I made up a term, kid imagination sparker. I don't think I'd be able to Wikipedia that. But for me, what that is this ability to watch that child's eyes just begin to sparkle when they are realizing that, oh my God, this is amazing. So whether it's a octopus changing its colors in under a second, whether it's a 6-foot eagle ray swimming over their head, whether it's touching a big scary shark and realizing that these guys are not the monsters that they can be made up to make. Because that spark is what's going to be the next coral reef researcher, that spark's going to be the next marine mammal rehabber, that spark's going to be the next kid that is going to grow up to start to work to conserve our ocean environments, because currently we are really, there's so many things that we're concerned about, and if we're not finding ways to get that imagination going very young, and not finding ways to get people impassioned, the next generation and your children's generations are going to have the real challenges. And it's those type of things, a combination of all those things that make it so easy for me to get out of bed when that alarm goes off very, very early.
Assistant curator over in the bird department, and like everybody else and many of the folks here, I started in the education department and started giving tours out in the park, narrating, and really understand the importance of actually talking to people about what we do. I started working in the bird department way back when, even before our park in San Antonio opened. We were starting our penguin encounter, and the penguin encounter really started back in the 70s when the National Science Foundation asked SeaWorld and the researchers here in Hub's Research Institute about starting a high Antarctic penguin exhibit. And that's one great thing that I think our education department is doing now, is that there's career camps. You actually get to learn what it's like to be a keeper. And all the glamour and strandings, and oh yeah, we take care of those animals. Yeah, we do a lot of notes and bucket cleaning, and I can't tell you that the high schoolers that come in to do the class, they're like, no, you want us to clean something? Great. Oh, I can go feed a penguin now? I mean, it's fantastic. They get a feel of it, and a lot of the kids that come in are, I want to go and do research on sharks. You know, you don't hear that very often. I really want to work with sea lions and do a lot of the rescues. So that's what is great about our programs, is that that's what we're able to do.
In 1976, I was hired in park operations. In 1977, I was offered a position in procurement. I went back to school. I finished up to become a buyer at SeaWorld. And in 1979, I was offered a position in a very small department called water quality. It was a grassroots, kind of a fledgling department that just started, and I thought, you know what, for 75 cents more an hour, I'm going to head that direction. I've always had a passion for the outdoors. I've always had a passion for just life in itself and animals. Growing up, I had a lot of animals in my bedroom. I had a caiman gator, I had pigeons, I had ducks, I had everything. I just had a little bitty zoo. And so, this was a perfect fit for me. That little department grew into a very large department and had really, it hit me deep when I really figured out exactly what I was doing, what type of impact I was making to our marine mammal collection, our bird collection. Today we have 26 facilities that the water quality department maintains. 13 million gallons of seawater, 1 million gallons of fresh water. It takes a team of 42 individuals to do that. I have 22 divers who work for us. They come in very early in the morning, and they make sure that the pools are algae-free or somewhat algae-free, and they do a lot of the underwater maintenance for us. They dive in water as cold as 42 degrees and as warm as 78 degrees. Along with that, I have automation technicians. I have 3 automation technicians on site, and they are responsible for over 500 components that monitor the water quality here at SeaWorld. I have 3 pump mechanics on site, and they are responsible for over 200 rotating assemblies, all of our pumps within the park. And then I have a team of 13 filtration mechanics who are really dear to my heart. That's where I started as a filtration mechanic. And they do everything from plumbing to backing up the automation team to helping out every one of these folks here. When the phone rings, you may think it's me. It's not me doing the work. It's my filtration mechanics who make it happen. They're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I run 3 shifts. I run a first, second, and a third shift. They're permanent shifts, permanent days off, and it works for us. As I said, we manage 13 million gallons of seawater. The largest facility, well, they vary in size really, anywhere from 100 gallons or 50 gallons up to 6.7 million gallons. The 6.7 million gallons, I think you all know, is Shamu Stadium. The unique thing about Shamu Stadium, which we don't tout enough, it's one of the largest saltwater, natural saltwater pools. Here in San Diego, we have 30 12-foot diameter filters that filter that water. We filter on average about 32,000 gallons a minute. And give you a little reference to that, we can fill the average swimming pool in about 30 seconds. Okay, so it's a little bit of water we move there. The turnover rate is about 3 hours, just a little under 3 hours. And we replenish that water with makeup water about every 31, 32 days, give or take, based on climatic conditions.
Like these guys, Mike's Kid Inspiration Sparker, is that what it was? I'm from Oklahoma, landlocked, boring Oklahoma. And I went to SeaWorld in 6th grade, and I made a decision then that I really like dolphins and I probably wanted to work with them. So since 6th grade, I thought I was going to be here. And like Lauren, or maybe unlike Lauren, I knew I wanted to be involved as a keeper, working with animals as my job. A lot of my friends were like, oh yeah, you're going to go to SeaWorld and work with the animals, Oklahoma? I was like, yeah, I am. And here I am today. I got hired here in 2001 as soon as I graduated from the University of Oklahoma. Go Sooners. Everybody knows that I'm very excited about my Sooners. I was hired in education, like most everyone here, and spent some time there, like the rest of us, narrating, doing tours, etc. Worked in the bird department for 2 years with penguins and flamingos and all that stuff. And then I kind of got geared into the dark side of office world, heaven forbid. My dream of animals still exists. I work with every department in the park. I manage chemicals and a whole slew of other things. So when I need my animal fix, I have a lot of friends and a lot of places here, and I can go hit them up for favors anytime I would like. So, and they have time, obviously. So Michael talked a little bit about, we have an NPDS, a National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, very fancy word for our stormwater, or the Regional Water Quality Control Board is who governs all of the water in San Diego. And we have very strict guidelines to follow regarding that water. And like he said, we sample 3 times a week to make sure we are doing what we say we're doing and putting in equal or better than water. So we have many figures to prove, just what the water is that's going out. Other governing agencies that we deal with are the Air Pollution Control District, Department of Environmental Health, the City of San Diego, Industrial Wastewater, their waste management, their recycling programs. I'm leaving some OSHA, DOT. We have, and I've just asked them what are some of the animal ones. Those are National, USDA, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Fish and Game, and National Marine Fisheries. So we are very regulated, and people may or may not know that, and they think that we break rules and all this stuff. We are very highly regulated. We want to do the right thing, and we're required to do the right thing. We also have corporate goals with wastewater and energy reductions, And about 2 years ago, corporate saw a lot of people wanting to kind of give ideas, and they saw the value in reaching out to all employees. And they opened up an environmental grant program to where any employee in the company can submit an idea along with the background research and proof that they have an energy, water, or waste reduction strategy that will work. And so at first it started with $250,000 that corporate set aside. All the parks got to apply for these grants. And our park, being in California and kind of the tree hugger community we are, we get a lot of these grants, and we have a lot of really great ideas that other people maybe weren't thinking about. Someone in Jody's department suggested, well, why are we using fresh water to clean these exhibits when they're living in salt water? That'll help save fresh water. So they applied for an environmental grant, and that happened. And then we've converted some of those practices to other exhibits in the park as well, which is a really great idea. A line level employee had their opportunity to be involved directly in, one, just being a good environmental citizen, and two, saving the company money and meeting our strategy. So it's been really great to have those. This last year, corporate set aside $1 million just in LED lighting retrofits, because it's such a quick ROI, return on investment, and it's saving energy, it's saving us money, and it's doing better things for the environment with CO2 emissions. So that's been really great. Some of our recycling efforts in the park, or I guess conservation in general, we've gotten the City of San Diego Recycler of the Year Award 16 times. We recycle over 35 different types of materials. You have your normal standard, plastics, glass, pallets, up to things like wetsuits. Those can get converted into koozies and laptop sleeves. So it's, again, another person thinking outside the box of really what we can accomplish if we, put those goals out there. We are the first theme park in San Diego to eliminate plastic bags. Obviously, they're a big problem in the ocean, and general plastic is, but plastic bags are often mistaken for food, especially with my sea turtles. And so we eliminated the use of plastic bags, and then it went company-wide the following year. So not only it started in San Diego, but now as a corporation, we wholeheartedly believe, we don't want to put that into the environment as an option for it to get, in somewhere it's not supposed to be.
So the whole paper bag?
But we have paper bags.
Have you?
It's been about 2 years that we've eliminated plastic. When Turtle Reef opened, that was actually whenever we started the no plastic bags. And, there's other things that go along with that. But 2014 in the City of San Diego is the year of Bring Your Own Bag, BYOB. The mayor launched a campaign here at SeaWorld a few weeks ago. We donated 25,000 bags, reusable bags, to the City of San Diego to hand out to citizens. Environmental and conservation efforts are very dear to SeaWorld's heart. A healthy environment is the best environment that animals here and around the world can live in, and so we take that pretty seriously, and we try our best to come up with new ways to make sure those things happen. We do beach cleanups with local organizations like I Live a Clean San Diego. We do 2 a year. We started an on the water cleanup with the Coastkeeper organization, where we're actually in boats cleaning things up on water. Already 2 minutes? Holy crap. That was quick. I thought I could do this. You'll host from culinary efforts, sustainable seafood. We got away from polystyrene and our plateware. Landscaping has a lot of different efforts. They use really high-tech irrigation systems that measure soil and air moisture and temperature, and only use water that way. Stormwater runoff, Michael kind of touched on that a little bit. Even the parking lot is getting treated at this point on our property, making sure we're putting in clean water. Real quick about our conservation fund. We donate over $1 million a year to projects around the world. It's something as close as San Diego's Project Wildlife to Sand Cobb in South Africa. There's a Minton farm in Australia that had a lot of animals about a year and a half ago with the fires that were happening, and they had burned koalas that they were rehabbing. A lot of people may not know about our nonprofit lake, but we do a lot of really great work. We have a conservation ambassador team here at the park that was started last year, because there's a lot of people that want to get more involved on the ground. And we also send our keepers who have that expertise to the organizations that we fund as well, as kind of an exchange program to say, here's our expertise, this is how it can apply. We've had vets go out in the field. We've had keepers go out in the field. We have a new program where like our marketing people or education people might go and help them with their education program because we have that expertise. And I recently got to see 3 of those programs myself when I went on a trip to Africa, and it is amazing. One of them, Owasso Lions, came and did a presentation here for us, talking about the way that our funds have helped them do their research. And I was taking around, you know, a traditional Sambu warrior with the beads and the headgear and everything, and watching him experience penguins. Didn't even know snow existed or penguins existed. And then 3 weeks later, I was in Africa watching their lions, and it was totally amazing. So those opportunities wouldn't come around, 1, without SeaWorld, 2, without our conservation fund, reaching out so far around the world and helping animals that way as well. So I really appreciate you guys coming and listening to this stuff and really being dedicated to learn more and be educated about really the expanse of what our programs are inside our walls and how we reach around the world. So thank you.